This thing we call America, call the United States, talk about perfecting as a union, requires all of us. And at a time when we are seeing, feeling, and experiencing direct attack on these very things we do, not only lawfully, but for the ideals we share as a country.
We require the ability across our country to support this work. And we all know that the government isn't doing enough to feed the babies, that there's not enough for healthcare in rural areas. There's not enough down the line to support, we over-incarcerate in this country and to support people returning to their communities and so forth. So there isn't enough resource. And if you also kneecap those of us who are seeking to do what we can, whether it is in a rural area trying to ensure that there is food in, where there should be for a school breakfast or lunch, or it is supporting the healthcare, or it is the access and opportunity for a disabled young person to come into a program. These are the things that I think philanthropy does from Idaho to Iowa, from New Jersey to North Carolina, all across this country, literally in 50 states. This is what we do every single day. 501c3 status, just leave it where it is. Do not tax nonprofits. There's no point for that. Let us do our work. That's all. We're not picking a fight. I'm not here to pick a fight. We're here because we do not want to have restrictions from politicians on our decision of how to do our work, especially at a time when the government isn't doing what it needs to do to meet the needs of every community in this country.
Oh.
And I believe that we got singled out, in fact, because we do say the words, because we are committed to racial justice, we are committed to fighting for immigrant rights, and that is an annoyance to this administration. So we had to stop and think about how to address this. We responded by writing a public letter to the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, calling out the pretextual nature of those terminations and showing how it was contrary to any vision of safety, accountability, and justice in this country. 2 days after that, I received an email from a DOJ staffer who said that he wanted to be able to assign a DOJ team to the Vera Institute of Justice, which was perplexing and threatening and a little bit terrifying. Perplexing because, to our knowledge, DOJ had not been interacting with independent institutions. Terrifying because we've seen what that entity has done.
A third of all women have been to a Planned Parenthood in their lifetime. Half of those patients have come to us on Medicaid. And so when I think about the moment that we are in, the first thing that an authoritarian government often does is they cut off the rights to women, right? Because it's the easiest way to control half of the population.
There's been a spate of 100-day polls that show that much of what this administration is doing is quite unpopular. And as we continue to organize and to collaborate together, I think that we are pushing that boulder up the hill, and it is incredibly reassuring to be part of that.
Well, in this post-truth era where controlling the narrative is often more important than the facts, higher education has been positioned as the enemy. And there has been a decoupling of higher education from the American dream.
Why does what you do in labor matter? And why is it so critically important to confront the attacks?
Where we are very close to an authoritarian reign. What Tarso Ramos called, an expert on U.S. far right and authoritarianism, called that moment at which you cross, where so much power is consolidated that it is very difficult and it'll take a long time to undo it. We are very close to elections not mattering. We're really close to that. And as educators, we understand, along with journalists, our role in making sure that our public is educated about that. For us, we know that at the center of this or any democracy is the ability for every student to have access to a free, quality public education.
Higher ed's been under attack. Obviously, Harvard's been in the news. But what does solidarity mean? Why does it matter?
We know that mental health issues, anxiety, depression, despair, have now surpassed financial considerations as the primary reason students are either not attending college or dropping out of college. All of these are factors. We have to push back against an attempt to eliminate the support services that will serve the broadest range of students, to create campuses that are spaces of welcome and belonging for everyone, for veterans, for students with learning differences, for those who are from a broad range of backgrounds.
Join me in thanking this powerful panel of leaders. The lessons are clear. We are in this together. We are working together. We will not be silenced. We will not stop doing what we do for people, and we will win.